with Herbalife for you to start doing business, right? In this country, if you're going to do business, you have to have a license. You have to be registered. So by you registering with the company, that puts you in the system. Now you're able to do business in 95 countries if you like, right away, right? You sell $100 worth of products, right? And since you're at 25% profit, you sell $100 worth of products, you're going to make $25 on that. Pretty simple? Yeah, you guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, next one over, okay, senior consultant. All right? How do you start moving up in percentages? Because when I got started, you know, I was doing this part-time and I told Ron, show me how to make an extra 500 bucks. He said, well, what do you know how to do? I'm like, nothing. Right? I had never sold, I had never done that, but I was already taking the products for 8 years, and I knew how I felt on the products. I just didn't know how to talk to people about that. So he taught me how to talk to people about that, right? Because honestly, I didn't, I'm like, Ron, I just don't know what to say to people. Right? Well, how do you make the shake? Well, I'm like, in a shaker cup. Still to this day, I like using the shaker cup. I don't like washing dishes, right? But, so he just taught me how to do that, right? So if you get 2 to 3 people that buy product, that'll probably accumulate $250 worth of products, right? There's a product value that Herbalife has, they call it volume points, right? But it's just 250 bucks if you want to look at it like that, and that'll move you up to 35%, right? You keep on helping some other individuals, you keep on helping them get results, right? They bring 2 or 3 other people, right? Now you're moving $1,000 worth of products, right? And that moves you up to 1,000 volume points. Right? You can do it in 1 month, you can do it in 2 months, but honestly, the percentages, guys, I'm going to tell you one thing. The percentages doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand that if you want to get into this business, write this down, right? You need people eating product. If you don't have people eating product, you have no business. You don't have a business. You can be a distributor, but if you don't have people eating product, there is no business. We're in the business of helping other people get results, like you guys just heard here, right? So my suggestion is as a distributor, what I started doing in the very beginning, I let myself be taught. I was desperate. I was looking to make an extra 500 bucks. I hated it. I was working construction. Who has a job right now? They hate being there, right? I was the only one. At that time, I hated it. I hated the 6 people I worked with. All they did, excuse my language, all they did was bitch all day long. How they didn't get their review, how they didn't get a dollar raise, how this person's got to do this, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, and I was 26, I was barely getting my life underway, right? So I was desperate, right? So, but what I was taught right away is to get people on the products. How did I do that? I sampled people. And still to this day, I sample people, right? Who likes the tea? Right? Who likes the lip gloss? Right? That stuff is crack, man. I mean, I'm telling you, you give people that stuff and they're like, oh, what did you give me? Right? And I sample people. And my team knows, man, when I make my tea, when I sample tea, I sample it dark. I mean, it looks like coffee. Dark, because I want them to remember me for the next 6-8 hours. Right? I'm not kidding. And then I called him. He's like, oh my God, what did you give me? I couldn't sleep all night. And I cleaned my house and did this, and I did that, and I did this, and I did that. I'm like, isn't that amazing how much stuff you got done because of a simple tea? That's just a clear sound that you're so malnourished. I use that line with everything. Because people are malnourished, right? I'm giving you guys some tips on how I sell. Doesn't matter, right? But it's all about getting people on the products. I'm telling you, it's about getting people on the products, right? Because if you got people consuming the products, that's automatically going to put money in your pocket, right? I didn't care about about a lot of things. I wanted to get people on the products because I knew, every time I sold, a portion of that money was going to be profit for me to use. I got 6 people on the products. My first 8 days in the business, I made 450 bucks. I was like, I felt rich, because when you're broke and you got an extra 400 bucks in a single week, you're like, oh my God, right? Then I called Ron. I'm like, Ron, how do I make 900 bucks? He's like, well, how many people did you get on the product? I'm like, 6. He's like, well, get 6 more. Oh shit, that makes sense. And that's how I went about it. What was I doing? I was just sharing my testimonial. I'm telling you, that's all you need to do in this business. Write it in capital letters. Talk to people about my results. Talk to people about my results. That's all you have to do. And let them decide if they want to get on the products. You know, let them decide. If they're seeing the results, you know, a lot of people just don't want to ask. Right? They just don't want to ask. But let them know, hey man, I just started, I took the multi-burn, I lost 11 pounds, I feel amazing. I just started now with the cleansing program. It's been how many days?
7 days.
7 days. And I've noticed right? You don't have to say, if you want some results, call me. They're not going to call you. Just put it out there. Right? Just put it out there and then see who likes it and then you hit them up. You guys know what to do. That's like on social media. Right? You guys with me?
Yes.
And where you want to get to is obviously supervisor. Right? That's because the thing is, if you're going to sell $100 worth of products, right? You're going to make 50 bucks. If you sell $100 worth of products here, you're going to make $25. You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm sure you guys can figure this out. Right? So it's really about getting people going on the products. Right? Because here's what happens. Are you in the business already, or yeah? How long have you been in the business?
I don't know.
Just freshly started in a way. She was more of a client, and then,
Okay.
but she did the investment towards the 50%, and then she went to her first event. Now she's installing her inventory.
Okay, good. All right. But what ends up happening here, right? There's a bunch of different ways you can make money. Let me see this next one. I'll show you this one. Okay? So once you get the supervisor, right? If you just want to retail, right? Just talk to people about the products. Right? That's it. Right? Just talk to people about the products. If you just want to retail, if you just want to make money now, you need money now, talk to people about the products. Because that's what retail is. Right? I wanted money now when I got started, right? I got 6 people on the products, and in 8 days I made 450 bucks. How do I do that? I sampled somebody on a Wednesday. On a Friday, I went to their house. I did a product presentation. What was the product presentation? Try the tea, try the tea, try the tea, try the tea. Try to shake, try to shake, try to shake, try to shake. And they would drink it. Right? And then I would just talk a little bit about the results. Right? I got on the products, I lost 14 pounds in 20 days. What? I drank the tea and I drank the shake. How much does it cost? It's $120, which is $4 a day. Boom, sold 3 people on the products. That was on a Friday, right? And then on Wednesday, I followed up with them, right? And then they had 3 other people there. I got 3 more clients. I made money. That's all I was doing, just sampling people, right? So that's all I was doing, right? I made 450 bucks. But what ends up happening, some people say, you know what? I like the products. Can I get a discount? They become what's called a preferred member, a PM. These people get to order directly into Herbalife, right? They get registered, not like you, because you're getting registered to do business. These people get a membership that's a lot cheaper. It's like 34 bucks, right? $34.95, right? Which allows them to order product directly to the company at a 20% discount, right? You in the business, you start off at a 25. When preferred members order, they start off at a 20% discount. But here's the cool thing: you're at 50%, right? These people order product to Herbalife, they get a 20% discount. But what's the difference between 20% and 50%? 30%. So the company knows that this person's with you, and they send you 30% profit, right, of whatever product they ordered. So let's say they ordered $100 worth of products. They saved themselves 20 bucks, right? And the company's going to send you a check for $30 from that order. Direct deposit, which is now super fast. Before it used to take a month. That sucked. Now you get it right away, right? So it's a nice, easy way to start making some money now. Who can use an extra $500 a month? Right? 6 to 8 people. Because you have to know, if you're going to do this business, I'm telling you, you have to know how to play the game. Right? And the game with Herbalife is helping people get results. Right? But, if you're a little bit more ambitious, what you can build a team. Right? You can build a team. And this is how hard it is to build a team. Once you get to 50%, you start to talk to people about products, you get them results, and then they start to get results, and then they get noticed, right? From their family members, and they're like, oh my God, my aunt saw that I lost, weight or whatever, she wants to get on the products. Well, listen, Mary, how would you like to make some money and help your aunt lose weight, and you can make some money part-time? Would that be something you'd be interested in? She says no. You're like, great, I'll take care of her. You sell to the end, you keep making money. Mary says, yeah, I would like to, I've never done this business, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it, neither did I suck, ha, 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 ha. But they got all these people that can train you how to do this business, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm telling you, one of the things that's nice about multi-level marketing is that there's people above you that can train you. Because if this is you, and this person invited you to the business, and maybe they're brand new too, like yourself, you're what, 2 months in the business? Who signed you up? Right? How long you been in the business?
Going on a year.
Going on a year. Who signed you up? Right? Them, right?
Yeah.
You have access to her, and you have access to them. And who signed you guys up?
My mom.
Right? Now you have also access to your herbs, right? So maybe you don't like your sponsor. Forget about her. Go to them. I'm just kidding. Right? but what I'm saying is that there's no excuse. There's really no excuse. It's just a matter, are you willing to work? Are you willing to learn? Right? Because this is not a lazy business. You're not an employee. You're not going to get paid just because you got a membership. You got to go out there and talk to people, right? And I'm telling you, man, there's nothing better than helping people come back to you and say, oh my God, I'm so thankful that I found you. Has anybody experienced that?
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing like it. There's really nothing like it. The money's great, don't get me wrong, but helping a lot of people is the way you're going to start to really get this thing going. Because what happens here, right? Not to go into too much detail, but just that way you guys can kind of see it, right? But this is when I came into this business, they started showing me this, and they said, Eric, how would you like to make money while you sleep? I'm like, bro, I love to sleep. But how do I make money while I sleep? Right? I didn't understand the concept. But in this business, you get paid, right? You get paid, the first way you get paid is by selling products. Right? You sell products, you get paid. Second way you get paid commission. Right? Anywhere between 8% to 25%. Why? Because if you're a supervisor and you have a PM who orders products, you're making 30% profit on that, right? You guys got that?
Yeah.
Right? But if you're a supervisor and you help a distributor get going, right? You're helping this person get going. They're selling product. They're making 25% profit. But the company knows that this person is signed up with you, and they're going to send you a 25% check from the order that this person did. This person is not paying you. The company's paying you. And that's something that sometimes people get it all twisted. Oh, you just want to make money off me. How am I going to make money off you? The company pays me. I'm not going to make money off you. I'm going to help you make money. You make money, I make money. You don't make money, I don't make money. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
Yep.
Right? So that's 25, right? And then same thing. If you're at 50 and then this person's already, has got a couple of clients, and since this person is brand new, you went with her, right? And you helped her do a couple of presentations. She sells some products. She's making $35 out of every 100, right? She sells $200 worth of products. She just made 70 bucks, right? But you helped her out. So, the company knows that this person is signed up with you. They order product. The company sends you a check of 15%, the difference between their discount and your discount. And then 8%, right? That's how the commission works. You helping people, right? And then number 3, royalties. Residual income. This is the big one right here. This is the how can I make money while I sleep money. Right? I've been doing this business for 25 years. Right? I have a lot of people who are squares in my organization. Squares all I meet up there at 50%, just like I'm at 50%. Right? I'm at 50% there. Raise your hand if you're a supervisor. Right? See, these people are normal. Right? They're all normal. But the cool thing is that the company pays you 5%, 5% on your first line, on your second line, and on your third line. What does that mean? You understand how to sell products, now you start teaching people how to do that. Whatever you learn, you teach. You don't learn, you don't teach. Right? This will take some time. Don't get me wrong. Just doesn't happen. Right? What happens right away is you getting excited about the products, getting the result, and talking about it. Right? Oh my God, Amalia, or oh my God, cousin, I see you around the product. How do I get started? You know what? I don't know because I just got started, but let me get the person that got me going to give you the information. Right? And one of the things I learned, right? People don't care where the information comes as long as they get the information. So don't make yourself like, I have to learn everything in order for me to go out there and get clients on the products. If people ask you about the products, use your upline, right? I used to use Ron. I kid you not, I used to call that guy like 20 times a day, right? Because he used to tell me all the time, if you have a doubt, call me. Right? Hey, they asked me about this, what do I say? They asked me about this, what do I say? They asked me about this, what do I say? Right? I mean, the guy was making $37,000 a month, and I was in the red. And he was always home. That's one thing I didn't understand. It's like, how are you making $37,000 a month and you never leave your house? Then I understood, right? But you start helping people, right? And they start helping people, and they start helping people. You know, this is big money, right? Who's got a royalty check? Who has a royalty check? What's been your biggest royalty check?
1,400.
1,400 for having supervisors.
Jeez, I think it was. I think it was like 6,000.
$6,000 in a royalty check for having supervisors.
Mine was just over 3,000 or underneath 4,000.
4,000 for having supervisors. 4,800 or 48,000? 100. Man, I got excited. For having supervisors. Sylvester?
Yeah, right around 6,000.
Right?
Yeah, I had to be on 6.
But it's like they learn how to get people on the products, and then they start teaching other people how to get people on the products. You guys following me?
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't it be nice to make $6,000 from work you didn't do? And then you get paid bonuses,
That's what he did.
right?
Oh, yes, the bonus.
Obviously, if your production starts to go up, the company starts to pay you a 1% bonus, and then they start paying you a 2% bonus, and they start paying you a 4% bonus, and they start paying you a 6% bonus, and it's just more money. Right? I don't need you to understand all this stuff. I just want to expand your vision of where this thing can lead, right? If you're willing to play the game, right? Because trust me when I tell you, I just did retail for 6 months, right? Because it was like great money, but I didn't know. I didn't know at the time that I was actually training myself to start training other people. But Ron used to tell me all the time, you gotta master retail, you gotta master retail. And I tell my team all the time, you gotta master retail. And until they master retail, they're never gonna build a team. That was a little scolding. Don't get it. Right? No, but it's like, I'm serious because it's like, it's cool, right? And then you get paid vacations. But not just any vacation. Right? Not the vacations that you go and you can like, can we buy this? No. Can we get this? No. Can we go here? No. I went on those vacations. Anybody been on those vacations? Right? Herbalife vacations are like, man, second to none. I know the guys just qualified a couple vacations. They just went to
It was
the
cruise,
right?
yeah.
Right? I don't need to ask how it went. Right? But they had a wonderful time. Right? We've gone to Hawaii. I qualified to Jamaica twice during COVID. Never went to the Bahamas. Even worse. What was that? Atlantis. Yeah, never touched the sand because there was COVID. I qualified both of those years. send me a $3,500 check. I'm like, keep your check. I want to go to the stand, right? But I did the work to qualify to the vacations, right? So why am I showing you this? Because you can really start to build career level income if you start to do this, right? When I got started, and I'll finish with this, right? When I got started, I made $450 my first month. My second month, I made $766. By my third month, it was $900. What was I doing? Talking to people about the products. That's all I was doing. By my fourth month, I made $1,200. Oh, I was walking on a cloud. I'm like, I'm so rich, right? Because I was making $1,600 a month, working 40 hours a week in construction. Right? I used to work from 7 to 4, and then from 4 to 7, 4 to 8, right? I would go and talk to people. I would go and visit people's houses. I used to do house parties or demonstrations at people's houses that still work today. Honestly, that's my favorite method, because there's nothing to being in somebody's house and you can kind of see how they live and stuff like that, you know? You open up their pantry and you show them not this, not that, not this, just throw all of this away. Right? I'm just kidding. But, you know, and then within 2 years, I made it to a global expansion team. I'll show you the marketing plan, right? I made it here, right? Making $3,000 a month. Now it was full time, you know? And then from there, in 7.5 years, I got to millionaire team, making $7,000 a month. 2 years later, I was at $10,000 a month, and I haven't dipped below that since 2009.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. Anybody want to share some of their testimonial?